People are sharing the creepiest unsolved mysteries that they can't stop thinking about. So I decided to look into the details of each one. Brandon Swanson's case always boggled my mind. The fact that he alerted his parents that he was lost and needed help. They were on the phone with him, heading toward him, only to hear his last moments. To know they were so close is so terrifying. Recently, Reddit user uRandomWeeb asked the people of r/Ask Reddit to share the creepiest unsolved mystery that keeps them up at night. After reading through some of these, I will definitely not be sleeping soundly for the next couple of days. Here are the most bone-chilling cases. Warning: disturbing and graphic content ahead.
1. Noreen Higuchi Brown. A mother goes to the grocery store and is never seen again. Over 30 years ago, Noreen Higuchi Brown left her home to buy ingredients to make Christmas cookies, and she never came home. What happened to the devoted mother on that cold December night in 1990? Noreen Higuchi Brown was a mother, daughter, wife, and friend. She was born on December 13, 1958. She grew up on Long Island, having attended Uniondale High School. After she graduated high school, Noreen worked at an office before she met and married her husband, John Brown. John and Noreen had 2 children and lived in New Hyde Park on Long Island. Noreen was looking forward to celebrating the holiday season with her family. The day Noreen disappeared. Noreen was making the most of the holiday season on December 12, 1990. On that afternoon, Noreen, her children, and her sister Susan went shopping for Christmas gifts and made a special stop to visit Santa on the way out of the mall. Susan lived in Franklin Square, where Noreen dropped her off before returning to her home in New Hyde Park. Around 11 p.m. that night, Noreen left home to buy ingredients for Christmas cookies. She never came back. The day after Noreen disappeared, December 13, 1990, should have been a joyous day for Noreen and her family. It was her 32nd birthday. Noreen's friend, Elaine Commando, received a phone call from Noreen's husband, John Brown, asking if Noreen had spent the night at her home. According to John Brown, he and Noreen had a little argument before she left for the ingredients, and he figured Noreen may have spent the night at her house. He fell asleep on the couch and didn't realize she never came home. John Brown asked Commando to go to the pathmark that Noreen was supposed to go shopping last night. The pathmark was located on Jericho Hui in Garden City Park, Long Island, approximately 1 mile from the Brown home. When Commando arrived at the supermarket, her stomach filled with dread when she saw Noreen's car parked there, locked and loaded with wrapped Christmas gifts. Noreen had $45 in her pocketbook, which was discovered inside her car, but left her wallet and identification at home. After Commando found her vehicle in the parking lot, John Brown called the police and filed a missing person report. Where Noreen's case stands today, John Brown was a fireman, and during the first week of Noreen's disappearance, fellow firefighters joined the search for Noreen. No one is sure if Noreen entered the pathmark that night, as no one recalls seeing her. One employee remembers her car being there a little after 11 p.m., but doesn't remember seeing Noreen herself. Although 11 p.m. seems like an odd time for someone to go grocery shopping, it was typical for Noreen, who preferred to go when there were no crowds. In an interview with News 12 Long Island, John Brown said he thinks Noreen was murdered. He also stated a witness said there was an argument in the pathmark parking lot that night. It is unclear whether or not there is a report about a fight in the parking lot on the night of December 12, 1990. According to Commando, Noreen and John Brown had a tumultuous relationship, and she thinks John Brown may be responsible for her friend's disappearance. John Brown is now remarried and has never been named a suspect in his former wife's disappearance. In May 1994, Noreen's parents sued John Brown for visitation rights for her grandchildren. The court ruled in favor of John Brown because Noreen's mother had stated numerous times that She believes John Brown is responsible for her daughter's disappearance, and they think she may convey those thoughts to the children. Evaluators recommended supervised visitation to ensure their grandmother's ideas would not sway the children's opinion of their father. At a reunion in 2017, Noreen's friends, including Commando, band together to get Noreen's case off the cold case shelf. Now they are working with the Nassau Police Department to help keep Noreen's name in the public eye. Two, Robert Mayer. A Long Island father of two vanishes after he doesn't return from work. To those who knew Robert M. Mayer, he was a family man. He was married to his wife, Ida, of 18 years, and they had two children, a son and a daughter. Robert was local to Long Island, having grown up in Old Bethpage in Nassau County, but lived in Dix Hills in Suffolk County with his family. He was a certified electrician and a member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 3. Those who knew him described Robert as a reliable family man. The day Robert went missing. On the morning of Friday, June 14, 2013, Robert left his home around 4:30 a.m. He drove to Brooklyn, where he was working on a newly built theater complex. By 9 a.m., Robert spoke to his wife, Ida. The two were discussing their weekend plans with family to celebrate Father's Day with a barbecue. They also discussed their upcoming trip to Italy. By 2:15 p.m., Robert was spotted on security footage at a local scrap metal yard, Arrow Scrap Yard. He sold approximately $300 of metal from the job site. Robert's phone pinged for the last time on Route 110 in Huntington at around 2:45 p.m. It remains unknown if his phone died or was shut off, but there was no further activity on any of his social media or bank accounts when he was discovered missing. Robert was expected to return home around 3 p.m., but never does. His wife, Ida, reported him missing to the Suffolk County Police Department later that evening. A neighbor came forward with information captured on their personal surveillance cameras. Robert's 2004 red Pontiac GTO was spotted pulling into the family home at 2:41 p.m. 10 minutes later, Robert's car is seen leaving the family home. It remains unknown who was actually driving the car. Once Ida knew of the footage, it prompted her to search around their home in hopes of finding more clues into Robert's disappearance. She found Robert's cell phone, wallet, ID card, and approximately $300 worth of cash inside a drawer in the garage. All of these items were known to be with Robert on the day of his disappearance. On June 15, 2013, Robert's abandoned car was found parked at the Deer Park station of the Long Island Railroad. Unfortunately, there were no security cameras in the parking lot. However, upon further inspection, the car was found locked, but the driver's seat was adjusted out of Robert's typical seat position. Robert usually kept his tools, lunchbox, and water bottles inside the trunk, but that was empty. Where the case stands today, Robert's case remains unsolved. Shortly after he went missing, the family announced a $10,000 award for any information relating to his disappearance. If you have any information, please contact the Suffolk County Police Department.